For nearly 2 decades, PJRC has developed one of the world's most widely known and premier development boards on the market, the Teensy. This microcontroller has seen multiple improvements over the years and has culminated in the trusted name that we know today. Teensy has been used to drive massive LED walls, art installations at Burning Man, and even some projects developed at NASA. In 2025, SparkFun became the sole manufacturer and sales partner for Teensy. We're going to go speak with Paul, the creator of Teensy, right now, so that way we can figure out a little bit more about this partnership.
When we started Teensy, there were very few 32-bit microcontrollers, and those that were out there were very, very expensive. And then the technology from 2008 until today just kept going up and up and up and up and up. We've kind of rode this incredible wave of the technology's improved, and I've tried to stay on top of what is the latest capability that microcontrollers have and try to make new models of Teensy that bring that to the market. I've always answered every tech question, and I've always, done all of the software and hardware development. Robin and I ran the business for many, many years, and now SparkFun is taking over the manufacturing and a lot of the marketing side, which is really excellent. It allows us to focus a lot more on doing the things that we've always loved and wanted to do.
To ensure that each Teensy board is up to SparkFun's and PJRC's quality standards, we test each board not once, but twice before it leaves the building. And if the board is equipped with headers, it is tested an additional third time, ensuring everything works as it should.
Almost exactly 3/4 of a second to do the test.
You just lump that nice little...
During that test, it's actually doing an incredible number of individual tests. And the first group of tests, it's powering the board up and down many, many times. And it turns the board on by connecting all the ground pins. And then it powers up each power pin to make sure the board is able to power up from each of its power pins without the others. And then, if all those pass, it turns on the ground pins one at a time with a couple of the power pins used to make sure every single ground pin really works and the board can power up. There's quite a lot of capacitors on there. And the Teensy 4.1 actually has 7 different power rails in it, and they all have capacitors on them. And so those little test points on the board are used to verify that the voltages are correct, but they're also used to quickly discharge all those capacitors. Then a relatively small amount of the test time checks all the pins. And this processor chip in the middle has a feature called JTAG boundary scan, which lets us read all of the pins. So it's checking every single pin on the board to make sure that all of those pins, plus these pins on the SD card, all this stuff is all properly connected. And then at the end, it programs firmware. This is the Teensy 4.1 that has Ethernet. And you can see we have a little Ethernet. Oh, and there's the bottom of the test fixture there. And this tells...
It tells us as the programmers exactly what firmware is going to be programmed onto the board. Whether it's the walkover in without Ethernet, with Ethernet, it allows us to connect it. We have a couple keyboards that float around just as part of this that we hook in there and can configure it to make sure that we're programming the correct firmware for each one.
And every Teensy has a restore program in it. This is a feature, I don't know if a lot of people know about it. You can hold the button for 15 seconds, and it has the known good LED blink program that originally shipped with the board permanently in a part of non-erasable memory. So all that gets programmed in right at the end. It was very challenging to keep track of the inventory and how many Teensys have we actually tested, how many do we really have. But it's why these test fixtures have this counter, is that it counts the number of unique Teensys it's actually tested, so that when you get done testing, and you should have tested 100 Teensys, or you should have tested 200, you can actually look at that count and see that, oh, I missed one.
Each of the test beds are named after 3 respective shows: Star Trek Lower Decks, Star Wars The Clone Wars, and Pinky and the Brain. As SparkFun and PJRC continue to develop and iterate upon the Teensy line, expect to see the same care and trust you've seen from every version of Teensy that's come before. Every version before it, from every version that's come before, been used. Yeah, there we go. I like that. It's a lot of like different. This, yeah, rigorously tested, rigorously. There we go.